We are here in studio with our Cowboys insider, Ed Werder. And Ed, Cowboys just notched another sack.
Their sixth matches their season high.
What a game for them, huh? You saw a Cowboys team that goes up against the Panthers. I wish we could play them every single week. You'd be talking 17-0. Is this the most complete game we have seen from this team since week one against the Browns, as bad as things have been this season?
Yeah, I think they played the game on their terms from start to finish. They were able to get an early lead, and that allows them to turn their pass rush loose against a pretty inexperienced quarterback in Bryce Young. They sacked him 6 times. They took the ball away 4 times. That's the most turnovers he's had in a single game. And then offensively, they're able to rely on the running game. Rico Dowdle, a hot runner, against the worst run defense in football.
I'm going to get more to Rico Dowdle in a minute, but this team really showing some fight despite all these injuries, and that's what you want to see at this time of year.
Yeah, you know, Mike McCarthy is on an expiring contract. He's got 3 games left. So does his coaching staff. And they're using a lot of young players who haven't yet established themselves in the league, so they're highly motivated. A lot of veteran players who are playing for their next contracts. I think all of that is obviously visible in how they're playing in these games, which are otherwise meaningless. You know, very important to the coaching staff. And Mike McCarthy said yesterday he takes a lot of pride in the fact that their competitiveness and their dedication to one another is showing up on Sundays.
Well, it seemed like a month ago we were talking about this team maybe tanking and kind of mailing it in and looking for a draft pick, but they are fighting on defense especially. You mentioned the 6 sacks. You're talking 4 turnovers. This is what we hoped Mike Zimmer's defense might look like all season long.
Yeah, and it's come to life since Micah Parsons returned from that 4 games he missed. First NFL injury that cost him games. Missed 4 games, high ankle sprain, week 4 against the Giants. He's come back. He's been, as he said, I feel unstoppable. He was talking in the locker room yesterday about, hey, I've never quit on anything in my life, and there's a great story for us to tell here as far as, you know, starting off horribly, losing all of these players. I mean, they got 5 of their top 7 guys in terms of highest paid players are on injured reserve and have missed huge amounts of the season and may miss all of the rest of it, including their starting quarterback, Dak Prescott.
We saw the video a few minutes ago of him smiling on the sidelines after the game. What a difference a week makes. But a little bit of chatter about his future with the team, which is, for me, a big head scratcher.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what they did yesterday. Mike Zimmer, last 4 games, 18 sacks, 10 takeaways. The prominent guy in all of that has been, as I said before, Micah Parsons. And Stephen Jones, apparently quoted by NFL media yesterday, as saying, hey, with Trayvon Diggs and Dak missing so much time, we have to reevaluate going forward how much of our salary cap dollars we're willing to commit to a handful of players. That's not what he told me in training camp. That's not what I think they'll do. It would be a huge philosophical shift for the Cowboys not to sign Micah Parsons this offseason and trade him instead for draft assets. I mean, the last time Jerry did something like that, it was in 1998. He decided that everybody we draft is going to be a high character guy, so they missed Randy Moss in that draft.
Well, Micah Parsons is the straw that stirs the drink on defense. His position on the Cowboys roster should be safe. On the offensive side of the football, let's talk about a couple guys real quickly. CeeDee Lamb, who's had an up and down season, but he keeps reminding you why he's so valuable.
Well, we talked about all the injuries, and CeeDee Lamb is the one guy who's had an AC joint injury, really painful injury. And he's played through that. While a lot of veterans have left the field with injuries, CeeDee Lamb has insisted on playing. You know, he said, everybody in the league knows my shoulder is hurt, and they're all going for it, but they can't hit me hard enough to knock me out of the game. We saw former teammate Xavier Woods hit him yesterday in a pretty vicious way, and CeeDee got up and said, you're going to have to hit me harder than that. He's got 4 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. He's the first player in franchise history. We all know the legacy of that number 88 he wears.
He wears it with pride for sure. And how about Rico Dowdle, by the way? If you blinked and missed it, he's putting together a little stretch for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he's got 3 consecutive 100-yard rushing games, nearly 400 yards in his last 3 games. He's had a career high each of the last 3 weeks. Now, granted, not great defenses he's played against. The Giants are a horrible run defense. The Bengals are historically bad on defense. And as I said, the Panthers are the worst defense in the league against the run. But obviously, 10 different offensive line combinations starting for the Cowboys this year. But they've really found something here with Rico Dowdle and his ability to run between the tackles and create consistent positive yardage.
Hey, if you're hoping that players are going to show why they belong on this roster moving on, some guys are stepping up and doing it. He's one of them.
Absolutely.
Ed, always a pleasure.
Hey, good to see you.
Victory Monday.
They got 3. They finish out with 3 teams that are going to the playoffs, so it's going to get a lot harder from here.
Maybe fans want to weigh in and celebrate a big win. Our call-in show is where you can do it. 11:30 right after midday is when you can join us. Kara, again, happy Victory Monday.